You're going to find within OneCNC that there's many different methods for creating a solid model. Now, for example, you might want to use a primitive. If you want to do that, just take your cursor up to the top of the screen and select Solid. From within there, you'll find 6 different primitive types you can use to begin your solid model. If you don't want to use a primitive, no problem. You might want to use our suite of extrude tools. To do that, go back up to the top of the screen and select Extrude. Inside there, you'll find 5 different powerful tools for extrusion. Once your solid model has been created, you might want to further modify that by using our modeling operations. From within this tool set, you'll find powerful tools like Merge, Union, Difference, and Solid Cutter. You can even combine your solids with surfaces to create components. This is often called hybrid modeling. And we also have a powerful suite of tools for creating fillets and chamfers. Now let's demonstrate how to create a solid model. I'm going to head up to the top of the screen and select Extrude. From there, we're going to use extruded curves and then just grab our boundary. Going to right click and just type in the thickness of our extrusion. We'll click OK, and there's the solid model. Now creating bosses is just as easy. We're going to head back up to Extrude. This time we're going to use Extrude Boss. Click OK. This time we type in the thickness of our boss. I'm going to use 750 thousandths. Click OK and just start grabbing geometry. As soon as we do that, OneCNC is intelligent enough to know which way to throw the boss. That looks good. Now let's create some fillets and chamfers. We'll head back up to the top of the screen, and this time we're going to select chamfer. I've got 100,000 set, and all I have to do is just grab the top edges of my boss, and there's the chamfer. Let's create some fillets. Back up here, we're going to grab our standard fillet. This time let's put in 125 thousandths for the radius. Click OK, and all I'm doing is just grabbing the base of each one of those bosses and then right click. If we want to make modifications to the solid model, not a problem. All you have to do is grab the solid model, come down, and select Modify. In this case, all I'm going to do is just change the color. I'm going to grab something like a bluish gray, click OK to that, and then we're done. If you want to, you might want to create geometry from your solid model. Though it's not always necessary, you might need to do that. And there's lots of tools within OneCNC to perform such an operation. I'm going to change the color to orange here, head up to the right side of the screen. Here's our geometry extraction tools. For example, if we use this option called Extract Surface Edges, let's rotate the model around. We'll grab the bottom surface, left click, and there's the geometry. It's very, very simple. Let's do that one more time. We'll go back in, Extract Surface Edges. This time I'll grab the top of the boss, and there you go. Now let's create a blueprint from our solid model. I'm going to head to the very bottom of the screen and select Pages. From there, we're going to select Add a Page, and from these standard templates, let's go with this one and select OK, and there's our blueprint template. All we have to do now is tell OneCNC which views we want to place on this template. Let's start with the front view. There's a nice preview there. We're going to say Place View on Page, take our cursor and just left click. How about a top view? There's our preview, Place View on Page, and it snaps right into place. Now let's go with a right view. Select Right View, there's the preview, Place View on Page, and snap it right into place. How about an isometric? Let's go isometric, Place View on Page, and I'll place it right about there. Now, if you want to start dimensioning this, no problem. All you have to do is head over here to the left, select Dimension, and go to work. I'm not going to dimension all of this, but I just want to give you an idea what the process is all about. That looks good. Now what's also interesting is that this blueprint is completely associative with the workspace. Let me demonstrate. I'm going to quickly create a construction plane on that face. Now let's create an arc, and I'm just going to sketch that right on that face. We could use dimensions, but I'm just going to sketch that for now. Let's head up here now to our extrude tools, extrude cut, and let's just extrude that circle. That looks great. Now we're going to go back into Pages, select our page, and select Update Page. OneCNC is now going to update every single view along with the hidden lines. Pretty fantastic. Now let's take it a step further. Let's go ahead and close this down. Go back to our workspace. This time I'm going to use our cross-section tool. Let's drag a cross-section right about, how about there? We're going to select Add to Page Manager. I'm going to shut this down, go back into Pages, load our page back up. Notice there's a brand new view down here called Section 1. I'm going to grab that. There's the preview along with the cross-hatching. Place View on Page, grab that, and just snap it where you want it. So creating blueprints from solid models, very easy, and it's associative with the workspace. Now, let's take a look at surfaces. OneCNC provides an extensive set of tools for creating surfaces. Now typically surfaces begin with wireframe geometry. So I have some wireframe geometry that I've already created here for this example. All you have to do now is take your cursor to the top of the screen and select the surfaces icon. From within the Generate Surface dialog box, simply select the option that's going to fit best for your project. In this case, we're going to use the Skin tool. We'll click OK, and now all we have to do is just select our cross sections. Going to grab the beginning of the first cross section and the end of that cross section. Let's repeat the same process on the other side. We're going to grab the beginning, and now we're going to come over and grab the end. When we're finished, we can come over and grab the cross sections going in the other direction. That looks good. Let's grab that one there, and that looks great. And so there's our surface. Now once you have a surface created, there's many things you can do with it. You can modify it, move it. In fact, why don't we select this surface and let's mirror that. We're going to mirror that right along the y-axis. That looks very good. At this point, we can create brand new geometry from that new surface. In fact, you can create geometry from any existing surface. I'm going to use our Extract an Edge tool, and I'm just going to left click that edge right there. And now we've got some geometry. We can use that geometry to create another surface. How about a cross-sectional surface? Going to grab that edge, and let's grab that brand new edge we created. And now we have a brand new surface. Now, in addition to creating geometry, don't be afraid to go in and delete geometry as well. It's just as easy. Just come in and select the geometry that you'd like to delete, and then hit the delete key on the keyboard. It's really simple. Let's go back in and create some additional geometry. I'm going to grab some edges there. Let's create some geometry on these edges as well. We're going to head back into our surface tools, and now let's use our surface from curves. Going to grab that boundary and right click. Let's repeat that one more time on the other side. Going to grab that boundary and right click, and there's our surface. If we want to, we can also combine those surfaces into a solid model. So I'm going to select all 5 of those surfaces by using our Select by Color tool. We're going to select gray and click OK. Now we'll head up here to our modeling operations and select Merge. We'll now click OK. OneCNC is going to take those 5 surfaces and create a watertight solid model.